Focus, people. Let's get let's get focused. Low under the weather. I listen. When I go to do some of my NBA and NFL stories, I like to look, up NFL news. So I'm about to go to bed. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But I had to get this off my chest because I went to ESPN because the main headline said LeBron James surrounded by questions as investigation sparks. And the whole thing is about him using uh, some anabolic um, pills or whatever called TX Core. Now, I read through the story, and as I was reading it, I dropped down to the third picture. I'm gonna show you guys. Here's okay. So here's the first picture. I read through this, boom, read through this. Was talking about his size and his skill and TX Core again, highlighted, yada yada yada. But then when I got down to here, I read this paragraph. Then it went to another paragraph. Then this paragraph is the same as this one. These two paragraphs are the same. And that tells me one thing. This is fake news. Why would they repeat this paragraph? It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just ridiculous. And then they got this, look like a CGI picture of some Goomba. And I stopped reading after that because then they talk about week 1, week 2, week 3, and these are all testimonies of some guy who decided to take it and to see if he was going to get, the same gains as LeBron James and all this other hackety smackety. So all it is somebody promoting TX Core. Now, here's focus, people. Let's get focused. Let's get focused. Let's get focused. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We've seen story after story of, you know, track and field, basketball, football, you know, all kind of athletes who take, all kind of supplements, even golf, Tiger Woods, and some of them are getting caught taking these supplements. Some of them are over the counter, like SARMs. It's over the counter. Uh, you know, and there's a lot of people who are getting caught with it. And then you have, I've talked about this in one of my last videos. You have the reports from players who are saying, yeah, everybody takes it. And that was in the NFL. So there's no doubt in my military mind that LeBron James does take something. I'm going to tell you why. Because of the regiment of the games that they play. It is a brutal schedule, especially if you're in like the top 5 or even top 8 teams. And it really, especially if you're the number one person in the whole doggone world, playing this game. He's the number one person. He's not only out there to win games, he's out there for publicity. So, they've been arresting him recently because he's what, 32, 33? But the thing is, LeBron James is the face of the game. He's the face of basketball. So he is a workhorse for the game. Now, when you're in that situation, it's not only that you're playing basketball. You may have engagements that you have to take simply because it's in the contract. I mean, when you're making, 23, 24 million in 1 year, you know what I mean? And then you're a free agent the next year. And the reason why you're a free agent the next year is because you chose to be that way because you know that somebody else is going to pay you, or the same team is going to pay you a colossal amount, uh, just so you can stay with them. So you keep playing the system and doing it over and over again. But he's the face of basketball, and he might have speaking engagements that are in that clause. It's like, okay, we'll pay you 23 million, but you have to do these other things too. You're not just gonna come out here, play a couple quarters, sit the bench, and we pay you all this money. That's not what's gonna happen. You have to show up here, 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 and here, and here. And we don't care what you gotta say. We don't care about what your family gotta say. You either do it or we're gonna fine you and take this money from you. Your choice. So there's more into the contract clauses when you get into the hierarchy. Not all contracts are the same for each player. They have responsibilities, and then you have the game. Then you have your age, and so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is he. It just wouldn't surprise me if he was taking something. Most of the guys I go to the gym with, they're taking something. They come in with this pink drink and a big old jug. It's like, come on, man. I know you're sipping on something. You know what I mean? Every now and then, I might try to take some, go to GNC and try to take some supplements to boost testosterone. Is basically what this TX core is supposed to be doing, is boosting testosterone. And, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they're doing because, testosterone burns fat, keeps you ripped, you grow more muscle, it stabilizes your anabolic system, I think, and it does all kind of stuff that I don't know about. But nonetheless, the point is when you're burning through that much energy at that high rate, you can burn yourself out. I used to do this when I was deep into athletics. I would go out and run a mile and warm up. I would just go out and warm up with a mile and sprint the damn mile because I didn't really get warmed up until the second mile. That's when, what I'm saying, because I was a middle distance runner. Most people think middle distance is the 800. No. Middle distance in regular track and field is the 800. But when it comes to, a distance runner, when you start mentioning a regular distance runner, you're talking about, you know, 5K, 10K, and some people run 100 miles, literally. And some people run across the desert. So I'm not an extreme runner. I was always the mile, 2 mile, and, maybe the 800. But nonetheless, I would have to warm up with a mile before my muscles would kick in. I would go out and run that mile in like 5:20, warming up, like, and it was nothing to me. And sometimes I could probably run close to 5 flat. And then I would go and do my race, which is either the mile or the 2 mile, and I would run a shoot. I mean, my best time is 10:28. I wasn't a super 2 miler, but nonetheless, it just I could run those distances and it just wouldn't hurt. I could run a mile in under 5 minutes. It's just like But nonetheless, I would burn myself out. If I didn't eat right, I'd find myself laid out for 2 days because I wasn't putting those supplements, that energy back in the right way. Sometimes I found myself laid out on the sidewalk somewhere because I was like, yeah, I'm going to go running again. And I would be laid out right there. One time I ended up in the hospital doing that. But these guys have a program that they have to follow. But nonetheless, you better believe that they all use some type of help. But, you know, Adam Silver, Roger Goodell, they're starting to crack down on what you can and cannot use. So this story is fake, but what's happening in the league is real. That's what I'm getting at. This is a fake story. I don't know if he's ever used this TX garbage. Nonetheless, I guarantee you he does use something. He has to, because the regimen is just too strenuous on the body for him to just eat regular meat and potatoes and be able to keep this up. They just do way too much. So don't be surprised. And another thing, while this is fake, is because unless LeBron James does something that is clearly, clearly out of character for him, he's not going to be under investigation. He'll be looked at if somebody else beside him does something. Like when Kyrie Irving said the world was flat, they started asking LeBron. When LeVar Ball start talking about his son, and then start comparing LeBron James' sons to him, LeBron James was pulled into that. Other than that, he's not going to be under investigation. I mean, when his mom kicked the windows out of a police car, LeBron James was pulled into that. So unless he does something that's clearly out of character, he's just not going to be under investigation. And one of the reasons why is because it would not benefit the league. It will cost the league millions of dollars just to say he's. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised they won't pull this garbage down. But it would cost them millions and millions and millions of dollars if LeBron James could not play. They'll do anything to keep him. Listen, if he went out and did do something stupid, I guarantee you that they'll cover it up. I guarantee you that they will cover it up just to keep his presence in the game, because he brings so much revenue into the system. So that's all I have to say about that. This is a fake story, but there's a story inside of the story that is actually real. It's your boy Tone 202. The NBA is fixed.